everyone, my name's Amy Baghetti, and I am your embedded librarian for your ADMN 2375 Career Development and Planning D2L online course. Today, I would like to go and talk to you about some of the online resources that are available to you as students at Northeast State. First, I'm going to talk to you about how to just find the library homepage, and it's pretty easy. First, you go to the Northeast State homepage, and then under Students, you click on that, and scroll down to the library, and click on it. And here you are at the library's homepage. Now, there's so many different resources available to you and from the library, and there's a lot of different ways you can access those. First, I'm going to show you our library catalog. As you can see right here, we do have a basic search bar embedded into our homepage. However, I like to go into the library catalog's full website. So just click here. Now, here you can search for a multitude of resources. So we're going to start out by searching for resumes. R-E-S, there we go. And you can choose to search for everything. However, that's going to give you a huge amount of results from a huge number of different sources. I personally think that it's easier to limit those resources down to materials from Northeast State's library. So, to do that, you would go where it says everything right here and change that to library collections, and then change it to the NESCC libraries and hit search. Now you can see we've went down from like 140 some thousand results to 713 results. Now, as online students, you go and you do have a lot of materials available that are just online. However, if you would like to check out physical items, you can look for these here as well. I know some of you guys only take classes online, and some of you do both online classes and on-campus classes, whether you're in the Blountville campus, the Kingsport campus, Johnson City, or Elizabethton campuses. If you do have classes at another campus, or you would like to go and check out physical materials, either way, you're more than welcome. You can always go and check out physical books by either coming to the Blountville campus and looking for them yourself, or requesting them online and having them sent to one of our satellite campuses. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you how to do that. So first, let's look at physical items. As you can see, there is online and let's find a book one, and books both mentioned here. But we're going to limit this just to physical items. And I want you to know this just in case you do want these. So what you would do is go and limit this under Held by Library. This is going to make it where only physical items show here. So let's say that you want the gallery of best resumes for people without a 4-year degree. And you think that would be very helpful for you with some of your work for this course. You could click on this title, and where it says Get It, you can sign in and click on Northeast State Community College, and by using your username and password, log into your account. Now that you're inside your library account, you can go under Get It and hit Request. Now, once you're in here, you can do the pickup location, and you can choose as a Northeast State student, Northeast State at Blountville, Elizabethton, Johnson City, or the Kingsport Center for Higher Education. Of those campuses, if you're at the Blountville campus and that's where you want to pick it up, we do ask that you come in and actually find the book on the shelf and take a look at it yourself, because we like to encourage students, if possible, to come into the library and learn how to use our collection. We think it's very beneficial for you as students to go and get familiar with the library. However, again, if you're an online student only, or you're unable to come to this campus, which is perfectly fine, you can again request another campus. Like, let's say you live in Elizabethton and you have time to run to the Elizabethton campus to pick up something. Just choose that. And I think at Elizabethton you would go to the secretary who is at the front desk at the entrance and ask for your book. In Johnson City, it is, I think, the director of that site. And at Kingsport, you go to the Kingsport Center for Higher Education, and you would talk to Kim Grayson on the 3rd floor Learning Resource Center if you have a book on hold that you've requested. But anyway, once you've done this, all you do is pick one of the campuses and hit send request. And you should get the book anywhere from 2 to 3 days to a week. Now, as you can see, there are locations for dual enrolled students. Please don't choose those, because those are only for our dual enrolled students and the high schools they go to. And we do call there to make sure that the person requesting the books does go to there to school. And we've had a few people try to get books in there because they live near the school, and we just cancel the requests. So it's just because the high schools don't want people coming over there. But anywho, let's go back in, though, how to look at items. So I'm not actually going to hit send request on this, because I don't want to put a request on for this book and create more work for my search staff. Because, you know, they have a lot going on. And so I'm going to go ahead and hit back, and I'm going to log out of my account. And we're going to do another search concentrating on online materials. Now let's go ahead and do resumes again. And we're going to again change this from everything to library collections. To Northeast State Libraries, and hit search. Now, instead of doing held by library, we're going to do available online. Now, as you can see, we have 606 results, but some of the results can be older items, and especially with, you know, your career development and planning goals, you might want to consider using materials that are much more recent. One way to make sure that you do get the more recent materials is to scroll down until you go and see creation date right here. Now, you can change this date by going and just using the up button until you get to more recent, or you can just go and type in 2015, but it doesn't take long. So we're going to do materials between 2015 and 2019. And let's just go ahead and hit refine. Now when you put filters on here, you're going to be able to see your active filters right here. So you have only online available books and published between 2015 and 2019. So we went down from 600 and some results to 94. And so you can go through here and look at the different books that are available. There's also online videos as well that might help you. But let's go ahead and just concentrate on books. And you actually, if you want to take out those videos, if you look under materials, you can see that you can just have books and ebooks. So we'll go ahead and do that too, just because. And apply the filter. And so now you see we only have books and ebooks, but it's really up to you if you do that. Now another thing you can do is if you have something more beyond, like, say, just plain resumes, if you want to focus your search some, you can add words to this search. So we're going to do resume tips. Okay? And we're going to see what it comes up with. Now you can see when you do a new search or add a new search word, you have to go back in and do available online and books and ebooks, and scroll down to the creation date and change that back again and refine your search again. It does, every time you add a new search term, it does go and reset. your search, unfortunately. So now we've got all these more recent books about getting a job that might be helpful for you. So let's see what our results are. Well, looks like this is Tips was not the best search for this. So also remember, you can just go back as well. Let's keep on going. Resumes, here we go. So if you hit the back button, you can go back to that just plain resumes, because sometimes when you do narrow your search, you don't get as good as results. But for our purposes right now, I'm going to go ahead and look at knock 'em dead resumes. And let's go and see if that'd be something you might be interested in looking at. So first thing you would do is open up the record. And you can see it's part of our EBSCO ebook business collection. And if you go down to the details area, there's usually a description of what's in the book, and sometimes there's subject headings and more information through here. There's the subject headings. So you can find out some information before you bother opening the book to see if it's something you would want to use. In order to access this book, here at the library, all I have to do is click on this and it'll open up. But when you're at home and opening any library database, you're going to be asked to log in using the same username and password, probably that you use for D2L. If your D2L password doesn't work, I would go and try your birthday in month, day, year format. And if that doesn't work, call the library or computer services to have that reset, or so we can troubleshoot it, okay? But just remember, again, when you're at home, you probably will have to log in. So let's go in, though, and look at this. I'm going to click on the EBSCO ebook business collection. And here you see is the record for the book we were looking at. Now, one of the things I always like to tell students, if you're looking for something particular, is going to the table of contents right here. And you can look here and see all the different information that's covered in the book, as well as an index if you want to look up specific items. Once you've decided this is a book you would like, you can look at the PDF full text. You can download this one. You also, if you're a person who likes to have, like, printed pages, most of the books in this collection do allow you to print a certain number of pages. However, those, you cannot print the entire book out. It's usually limited anywhere from 80 to 120 pages, has been my experience so far. So, if you do want to print out the pages that you feel like are most pertinent to you, please go ahead. But just do be aware that you might get cut off at some point. But you can add this information to your Google Drive. You can print off those pages. You can email a link to yourself. You can copy the permalink. You have many different resources. Also, here is the Cite button. Now, if you click on this, this shows your citation in excuse me, in MLA format. And what you can do is go ahead and create your Works Cited page, and then highlight, copy, and paste this into your Works Cited. Now, the advantage of doing this is A, you already have a start on your citations, and B, if for some reason you forget the title or you forget what you were looking for, and you can't find this resource again, you have a direct link here back to the book on the library's databases. So it's very handy. Now, I will tell you this, though. Any citation you copy and paste from any of the databases, you need to double check it. Computers, the information in these databases are filled in by human beings, and therefore, just as human beings are fallible, so are computers. And a lot of these do miss some of the things you're supposed to capitalize, information you're supposed to italicize or put in quotations, little problems. So you do need to learn to go and double check all your work, okay? And I'll talk to you more about that in a little bit. So at this point, I think everybody understands how to use the library catalog. If you have any questions, remember I will be giving you my contact information at the end. Please feel free to contact me anytime for help or assistance. So let's go back to the library homepage. And library homepage, there we go. Okay, now that we've went over the library catalog, I think I'm going to go ahead and show you how to use the library's online databases. So we have two links on the library homepage, right here and right here, that will lead you to our database page. Doesn't matter which one you click, it'll take you right here to the A to Z databases. Now, again, I've already showed you when I took you through the catalog how to go and look at a book record in our EBSCO ebook collection. But if you just want to go directly into our databases and search our ebook collection, you're more than welcome to do that. So you can click on this link, and if you haven't logged in yet, you would have to log in. And then, same thing as we did before, resumes. And you'll see there's a drop-down menu right here. If you want to, you can pick one of these as well, especially if one of these different suggestions fits what you need as far as accessing your research materials. So we'll go and choose resume tips and see what happens. Now, as you can see, there's 13 books right here that are available that are tips for making resume. Now, just like before when we were searching in the library catalog, there are ways to limit the materials you see. One thing we're going to do is make sure that you get the most current materials by sliding the publication date bar to 2015 and looking at what kind of results we get. As you can see, it's gone and it's taken our results down to 2. Now, if you're looking for something specific and you want to change this date, you can go and type it in and put a different date to give you a longer range for different materials. You can also go up here and change your search as well, or do a new search. That way you might get more results using different search terms. But for our purposes, we're going to go ahead and look at this. And what you would do if you're searching through here is, let's say you're wanting to go and search for a librarian job. So what you might do is look at the subjects covered here, and you go, that might be a good book. And then click on the record to open it up, and then access the same information that you did before when we were using the library catalog. As you can see, here's the description, table of contents, the ways you can download the book, and all the different tools right here. So that's pretty much how to do our EBSCO ebook collection. I think it's pretty easy to use once you get the hang of it. And let's go back again. I'm just taking a shortcut and going back to our database's homepage. The next thing I want to go and show you is our OmniFile Full Text Mega database. And I'm going to go through this pretty quickly because this is also an EBSCO database. But instead of it going and having ebooks, this has articles. And so let's click on that. Now, as you can see, it looks just like pretty much the EBSCO ebook database. But again, you're looking for articles. So I'm going to type in something different. Let's do interviews. Interviews. Okay. And let's hit search. As you can see, we have over 100,000 results. So we are going to have to narrow this down. So let's change this from interviews to, let's pick one from the drop-down menu, interview techniques, and see what we get. Now that took us down to 327 articles. Now, one of the things, of course, you can do is make sure you get more recent articles printed in, we'll say, the last 5 years. Now we're down to 139. Now, sometimes your teachers might go and ask you to do a scholarly peer-reviewed journal. And if your teachers ask you to do that, what it means is that instead of a regular journal, which a writer would send a well-researched article to an editor, and an editor would publish that, a peer-reviewed journal means that a person or a group of people who have researched something and written an article, they send it to the editor, and then the editor sends it out to other experts in the field, 2, 3, maybe even more. And those experts read and critique that material to decide whether or not it's ready to be published. So once an article has been published as a peer-reviewed article, it means that it's went through an extra layer of scrutiny that truly does mean it's more scholarly. So remember, when your teacher is requiring that of you, they're really just wanting you to have the best resources possible to use in your work. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and limit it to peer-reviewed journal articles. And we only have materials between 2010 and 2020. Let's see. Let's go ahead and make that 2015. Okay. So now we're down to 55 articles that involve interview techniques. Another thing you can do is you can look at the subject areas, and you might find some different subjects that will help you pinpoint exactly what you need. So let's say you're wanting to, let's see. Let's say you're wanting materials about interviewing. So let's go ahead and update that. And now you have very much more pointed materials. And sometimes this works great and sometimes it doesn't. The cool thing is, if you go and you don't like your results, if you look over here at your current search, you can just take out the subject where we put interviewing and go back to our results. So as far as it goes, let's go ahead and take a look at an article. So we've narrowed down our results, and we're going to go and start looking at articles in our results to see if they are helpful to us, okay? So let's see. I'm trying to find one that I thought looked good. To be honest, I don't really like any of these. And this is going to happen to you when you do research. It's one of the reasons why, if you do have issues about finding information, you definitely should go and contact your librarian, which is me. So I'm going to change this to something a little different. And because I'm always going and working on thinking about different skills. So here's some. Which medical interview skills are associated with patients' verbal indications of anxiety? Let's see. Teaching soft skills for employability. This looks like an article that might be useful for you. So you've looked at the subjects, and you think, that looks like it might be useful. So you click on the title, and then you would read the abstract, look at the subject areas, and go, would this be a useful article for me? If you believe that it is, you can download your PDF full text, you can print it, and again, it's just like the other EBSCO database. You can add to your Google Guide, you can use the Cite button to copy the citation into your Works Cited page. So again, once you learn how to use one EBSCO database, they're pretty much all the same. So let's go back and do another database, okay? I'm going to take a shortcut by going to the library homepage, online databases, and here we are again. Now, I'm going to show you a different database now, our Academic OneFile Gale. So if you click on that, you can see it does look a little different than EBSCO. It's got pretty pictures, different icons are in different places, which give you options. But really, here's a search bar again. And we're going to type in interviews and see what happens. Now, as you can see, you have over 400,000 results. So what we're going to do now is narrow this down again. And actually, I'm going to take this off because I think interview works better for when I'm planning to search within. And then I'm going to go into search within and do skills, just like I did in the last search. Now, by searching within, it means that it's looking for any of the articles here that has skills within in the body of it. It's just a simple keyword search. So now we're down to 100,000, over 100,000 results. Still too much to look at. So what you can do is you can limit it again by the publication date. This one's a little different. You'll need to go and say put in 2015. And hold on 1 minute. I'm going to sneeze. Whew, thank you. Excuse me. And so you're going to change that to 2015 and pick a date. And then I would just choose whatever date it highlights on there. This is December the 28th. And hit apply. Now this is going to take you down again to a lot more materials. A lot less sources than you had before. Now I'm going to go ahead and search again because I think this needs to be narrowed down a little. So let's go and do college. College, and see what it says. So now down to 13,000. There's still a lot in here. You can limit it to peer review journals if you'd like to. You can look at document types because some of these will not go, and like, let's see if one I wouldn't use. Well, if you come across one that's like a book review, something like that, I would definitely wouldn't use it. Let's see, what do I have on here now? College, skills, interviewing. Let's see. Let's try techniques too. Techniques. Because we still want to narrow down this topic. Nobody wants to look through that many sources. And as you can see, we've narrowed it down to 4,000 results. And I'm still looking here, and since I don't really go, and I still think that's a lot of sources, I feel like I should search for something different maybe. So we're going to go back, actually, and try a different search. So hold on. You can go up here, and let's see. Interview, skills, community college students. Now let's see what comes up when we search for this. And this is a big long phrase. Oof, still too many. One thing you can also do is an advanced search. And what this is, this separates things out. So instead of looking for just all the words in that long phrase, you can do this. Interview skills. By putting quotation marks around it, it's going to go and do a search for interview skills. And then you can do college students. And it's still doing a keyword search, but unlike that big long string here, you're searching for the phrases interview skills and college students, not interview skills college students. I hope that makes sense. So let's go ahead and search and see what comes up. Now, as you can see, we went from from thousands of results to 10. The only problem is looks like it's just news articles. So again, sometimes it does take a while to figure out what you're going to go and how to exactly find the information you need. And when you come into problems like that, please do remember that you should contact your librarian. Because like just now, I'm doing a spontaneous search and I'm not quite getting the materials I need. So, anywho, but at this point, I think you guys understand how to use. So I'm going to look up resumes and try another search. And let's do resume skills, actually. And, okay, this is more in the land of results we want. So I've done resume skills. We're going to lower it again from that publication date. 2015 to 2019. Okay, apply. Oh, wait, oops. Apparently, I did an invalid publication date, 2015 to 2019. Okay, there we go. And let's apply that. And we're down to 93. And again, this is a much more reasonable number to look through. So let's say you're going through here and you see an article that's going to be useful for you. Landing your first nursing job. Okay. A journey from books to bedside. So let's say you look at this, and if your article doesn't have an abstract like it did in EBSCO, again, just read the first few paragraphs. That'll give you some ideas. Because sometimes this is a relatively short article, but some of these articles can be really long, so it can be helpful to just kind of skim over to make sure it's something you really want to read. Once you've decided this is an article you want, just like in the EBSCO databases, you can go to Cite, and you can hit Select and copy this citation into your Works Cited page. Now again, just like with the other databases, this citation is not going to be perfect, so you do want to remember to double check your work and make sure the citation is correct. But beyond that, you can email it to yourself, download it, print it off. There's all sorts of options here. All right, now if anyone has any questions about using Gale databases, please feel free to contact me for more information, okay? So next we are going to go back onto the database page because I do want to show you one thing. On the online database page, you can use these broad coverage databases, but I think personally, if you know what your topic is and what you're researching, you can go into our subject-based databases and choose that as well. So, for instance, we have like administrative professional technology databases. We have career databases. We have all kinds of different subjects. And by looking in these subject-specific databases, which are just basically our Gale and our EBSCO databases broken down into subject areas, you can really focus on your topic and get more relevant results easier. Let's see. So let's go ahead and take a look at one, though. So we're going to go into our career databases. And as you can see, we have several different ones that we think might be useful for you to use. And let's see, like career transitions, if you want to find information out about a job. But all of the ones that we think are best for you to use for this topic is in our yellow best bets box. You can go through here, read the description, and hopefully one of these will help you. Below that, we have other things as well, that other databases that might help you as well. And each of our subject databases look like that. We'll go into another one just to... Oh, wait, oops. Yeah, that's it. Like here's the Administrative Professional Technology. We have the Business Gale 1 file. And then O'Reilly for Higher Education, which is another ebook database that you can use. Do keep in mind, though, this one requires you to make an account for it. So if you have questions about it, please contact the library for more information. Or contact me, of course. I'm your embedded librarian. But anyway, so again, I just wanted to tell you that these subject databases are very useful. Alright, so again, if you have any questions about the databases, you know who to talk to. Me. Let's see next. Okay, I'm going to go back to the library homepage. And right now I want to take you into our library resources link. Now this area has a lot of online resources that can help you with your work. First, I want to take you into our research guides. Now research guides are put together by two of our librarians, and basically they take a subject and they pull together a lot of information that they believe will be helpful to students doing research. So we're going to go down here and look at the career guide. Now the career guide is set up a little differently than some of our other subject related research guides. First off, we have a tab called Choosing a Career. And when you click on that, this is going to give you different databases and information that will help you go and hopefully get an idea of what you want to do as a career and give you information about that. Now, we have books that were both published in print, and we do have databases as well, and you can find materials on our online ebook databases. The next tab is Preparing for a Career. Here we have links for online materials and materials that are in the library for education, skill development, and test preparation. You know that a lot of careers you have to go ahead and you have to take a test in order to enter into that. For instance, if you want to be an RN, you have to get into the NCLEX. Or if you want to get into the nursing school, you have to take the nursing entrance exam. And also, like say if you want to be a teacher, I know that you have to take a test to do that as well. I cannot remember the name of it right now. But yes, so there's a lot of careers that you do have to take tests for. So these different databases can really be helpful to you because you can log in, create an account, and do practice for those careers which you're interested in. Also, we have a Getting the Job one. Now this one has links for materials online, in the library physically, and in the library online, which is our databases, and at Northeast State, which is basically a link to the Northeast State Career Center. Personally, I used those when I applied for my job as librarian in 2016, and I went and I learned a lot from them. They helped me refresh my resume. They helped me go and understand that interview techniques have changed over the years. So when I first got a job here in 2003, the questions I was asked then were now completely different. And because I really wanted a job as a librarian here, because Northeast State has been wonderful, and I felt like this is a place I wanted to work, having those new interview questions right there before me really helped me prep for getting a job. So I cannot emphasize enough how much I think the Northeast State Career Services are worthwhile for your time if you are applying for jobs. But anyway, we have links on the web, and I think I went over those. Now that's for if you're hunting for a job. Here's the same sort of links for applications and resumes and interviewing technique. So again, I really think that these are going to be worthwhile for you to take a look at. Okay. If you're looking in for, career development. Now, we're going to go back into our research guides right here by this link. And I also want to show you our MLA citation guide because I know that's the citation style that you're using in this course. So if you scroll down through our research guides into the MLA citation guide right here, our librarian Amy Lippo makes these, and they're really good. All you do is you look in and it says, how do I cite? And then you look, and depending on what source you're using, you would click on one of these types of sources. So if you're using an ebook, you would look here and scroll down. And if you have an ebook from a library database with one author, it has the format right here of how it should look. Then it has an example, and it has how to do the in-text citation. So anytime you're stuck or you want to double check a citation you get from the databases, this is a great place to go. Now, for some reason you have a source that's not on here, please contact me and I will help you make your citation. And we are always adding new stuff into this database because, things happen and students always have creative ideas, and we like to make sure we have as many examples as possible for students to use in here. Now, in here is also help with in-text citations. And if you click on this Works Cited Lesson sample paper, you're going to be taken to MLA's Purdue OWL Online Writing Lab. Now, I'm sure many of you guys have already heard about Purdue OWL, and when I get stuck and can't figure out how to do a citation, this is where I go. Also, when I'm helping students correct citations, I usually include a URL back to the correct page here. Usually it's electronic sources. So I'll include this URL. Then I'll say, okay, if you look on the electronic sources page and you scroll down to the section citing an entire website, or if you're citing a page on a website, usually it's a page on a website. And I'll tell you to go here to look at these examples on how to cite this correctly. Now, I always put this out here just because I feel like it's a really good resource and it's easy to follow for anyone trying to make corrections. And let's go back into our research guide. So again, I really think this is a very useful source for you as you go through and are writing your papers for this course. So let's go ahead and click off this though and go back to the library page, home page. There we go. And let's see. All right, now if you go back in library resources, you'll also see this assignment calculator. So let's click on this and see what it is. The assignment calculator is basically a tool that we offer students that gives you step-by-step directions on how to write a really good paper. So the first thing you would do is put in the date your assignment's due. So we're going to do 04/01/2020. Okay, and calculate assignment schedule. Click on that. And as you can see, it starts with first date. It starts with the date here, and basically it gives you dates and steps for writing your paper. From everything from understanding your assignment, which is key, people. Always make sure you read anything your teacher provides about your assignments. I have a lot of students coming to me who don't understand assignment sheets, and one thing we always do is print that off and look at it together, and it really can help. So don't underestimate reading and rereading your assignment sheet. Also, it talks about how to select and focus on a topic, writing a thesis, doing your research, how to make an outline, which a lot of people come to us as well asking about how to do this. It also has links to the Learning Center and our Ask a Librarian, where you can chat with a librarian for assistance. And then it has citation help, how to revise and rewrite your paper, and how to put your paper in your final form. Now, this is a really useful tool because basically it will take you step by step how to do your paper. And if you have this much time to do it and you think that this is going to be a great way for you to accomplish your goals with your work, that's fine. But one of the reasons I really love this outside of the structure it can provide is, let's say you're like me when I was in college. You're taking a full load, you're working full time, and you have a lot of outside responsibilities. So it's like 11:30 at night on a Saturday night, and you're researching and writing your paper that's due on Monday. And you only have a couple of days, and right now, if you email somebody with questions, the library's closed, and, if you need an answer right now on how to do something, you may not be able to get in contact with your teacher or anyone else to help you. So by remembering this assignment calculator is here, you can go for here and find links. Like if you're having a hard time developing your thesis, if you click on this, it takes you to the Harvard College Writing Center and talks about how to develop a thesis. If you're having a hard time going and, doing an outline, same thing again, Harvard College. It talks about going and writing an outline for your paper. And we get that a lot here. You also go and have information about, like, let's say you have a source and you look at it and you're like, it does have information that I think will be useful, but it also has like tons of advertisements and, oh man, they want me to pay $16 and I don't know. This has different ways where you can tell whether or not your source is good. If it's scholarly or popular sources, and that will help you. And up here as well, it has stuff ongoing and evaluating your sources. Like, for instance, we use this method, the CRAP method, quite a bit. And basically, it gives you a long list of criteria that will tell you whether or not a source is good. And so again, if you go and if you don't like the way the format's set up, just remember that the links are here. You don't have to follow all the steps, but all the links are here to help you, especially if you aren't in a position where you can ask someone else for assistance, like a librarian or your teacher. Alrighty, let's see. Next, I'm looking at my outline actually to make sure that I've covered everything. Okay, the next thing I want to do actually is go back to the library homepage. Now that's pretty much all I wanted to cover for this course. If there's anything that you have questions about on the library website, or if you have any questions about this presentation, please let me know. In order to help with that, if you go into D2L, into your class, you can go to Content, and then, it came right up. And if you scroll down to the bottom, you're going to see Library Resources, which has a lot of the information that I've talked about today. It has a lot of information in there as well. But you can click on your class librarian. And once you do that, click on and open the page. And guess what? There's me. And that is an old picture that I need to replace. But I mean it when I say hi, I'm Amy Baghetti and I'm here for you. You can contact me through D2L. You can contact me through my regular work email. You can call me at my office. You can call the library looking for me. And if I'm online, you can chat with me. You can also schedule an appointment to meet with me one-on-one if you feel like you need more help or assistance. Also, if you want to come into the library, you can go and you can find me on desk most days, Mondays from 4:30 to 8, Wednesdays from 7:30 to 12, and Thursdays 7:30 to 12. So, again, if you need help, I'm more than available. But if for some reason you can't get in touch with me, let's go back to the library homepage. If you'll scroll down here, you'll see this big Get Help button. Click on that, and you can always contact a librarian for more assistance. It doesn't have to be me. It can be any of the librarians. We're all pretty awesome. You can submit a question. You can call us. You can text us, and you can email us. You can chat with a librarian live, or you can schedule a one-on-one appointment again. If I'm not available, there's always other librarians available as well. Just a note, if you do want an appointment with me, right now I do have limited hours scheduled. So let's actually go in and look at February. So if you want to go, say, and you look and you want to talk to me on February the 5th, those are the hours I have scheduled. However, if those times do not work with your schedule, please email me through D2L or through my regular email in the content area of your D2L page, and talk to me and I'll work with you on a time when we can meet. Those are just my general hours that I do like to meet people normally. But again, I'll work with you. I have no problem with that. Now, when you submit a question, when you email or chat with us, you also have the option of sending us your paper. One thing the library does offer is to review all of your citations and your in-text citations and make corrections. Now, I don't fix your citations for you, but I will give you very, very detailed directions on how to go and how to fix them yourself. Because my goal here is for you to both learn about MLA and make a great grade and learn everything you're supposed to in your class. So again, if there's anything I can do to help you, please let me know. And again, if you have any questions, I'm here. So good luck in your class, and thank you for listening. Bye-bye.